If you've been doing all the things for self-care, resting, slowing down, making time for yourself, and yet you still feel tired, disconnected, and just off, hear me clearly. You're not doing self-care wrong. You've just outgrown the version that used to work. And no one told you that midlife changes the rule. I'm Michelle, and I work with midlife women who are capable, responsible, and very good at holding everything together for everyone else. And this is what I hear constantly. I'm doing all the things. I rest. I slow down. Why don't I feel like myself? Why does it feel like this is helping? And I've lived this too. For a long time, I thought it meant I needed to try harder, be more disciplined, more intentional, better at self care. But that wasn't the problem. This channel is where we talk honestly about why self care often stops working in midlife and what actually helps instead, without pressure, fixing, or pretending. If this season feels confusing, you're not alone. You might want to subscribe. These are the conversations that we have here. In this video, I'm going to share 3 reasons self care often stops working in midlife. And none of them mean that you have failed in any way, shape, or form, given up, or lost. They mean that your needs have changed and it's time to adjust. So, one thing is that self care breaks when it's built on pushing through. Most self care advice assumes that you're starting with a lot of energy and assumes that you can push through the day and recover later and repeat tomorrow. But in midlife, it usually comes after decades of endurance for caregiving, emotional labor, responsibility being the steady one. So when you add all these self-care steps on top of that, a life that's already requires you pushing and pushing, it doesn't restore you. It drains you more. And that's not a discipline issue, that's a design issue. Self-care fails when it ignores the identity shifts. So in midlife, you're not just tired, you're changing. Your roles have shifted, relationships evolve. What you need before looks different now. Most self-care focuses on behaviors and not identity. So you might rest and still feel disconnected. You might slow down and still feel lost because what you're actually needing isn't another structured routine. It's space to reconnect with who you're becoming. So when traditional self-care ignores identity, it only treats the surface. Another thing is that self-care stops working when you have excluded yourself from your own life. This part is quiet, but yet it's everything. So many women reach midlife after years of responding to everyone else's needs, their schedules, their emotions, and somewhere along the way, without meaning to, you stopped including yourself. So self-care becomes another task, another check off on your list, something to do, not something that brings you home to yourself. So real care in this season, it begins with one question: where am I no longer included in my own life? And that question changes everything. You don't have to answer it all at once. Sometimes it shows up as pushing through even when you're exhausted, telling yourself that you'll take care of yourself later, saying yes out of habit to others without stopping to ask if it still works for you. So if self-care isn't working the way it used to, that makes sense. Your life has changed. Your identity has shifted. Your nervous system needs something different and new now. You don't need to try harder. You need care that fits who you are today. If you're thinking, okay, but what do I do with this? Here are a few simple things that you can try this week. No big structured routine required. Pick one moment a day to ask, what do I need right now? And then answer. Maybe it's a glass of water, a pause, a stretch. Do one little thing a little slower on purpose. Not better, just slower. Choose one tiny I matter to moment. Sit for 2 minutes before you stand up. Step outside for one breath of fresh air. Say not today to one extra thing. None of this is meant to fix you immediately. It's meant to help you start including yourself again. Small moments count because they rebuild trust. If you're unsure what kind of support would actually help you right now, whether you're feeling depleted, disconnected, overwhelmed, or in a transition, I created a short quiz for that. It's designed to reflect where you are And what kind of care would feel supportive without a lot of pressure or labels for you right now? You'll find the link below whenever you're ready. You didn't fail at self care, my dear. You simply outgrew a version that no longer fits you. And you're allowed to find a new way, gently and in your own time, on your own terms. We'll see you next week.